1,000 is a good number. 10,000 is a better number. 100,000 is already massive. But 1 million is the kind of number that completely changes the conversation. And that is exactly what SCS Software has now achieved with console wishlists across Xbox and PlayStation. Just think about that for a moment. 1 million people looked at Euro Truck Simulator 2 or American Truck Simulator and said, "Yes, I want this game on my console." That is not a small community anymore. That is not just hardcore trucking fans anymore. That is mainstream interest. And honestly, this proves something many of us in the community have been saying for years. The demand for ETS2 and ATS on console is absolutely huge. Every single day, more players continue adding these games to their wish lists. The numbers keep increasing, the discussions keep growing, and the excitement around a console release is becoming impossible to ignore. But now comes the biggest question of all: when will these games finally release on Xbox and PlayStation? Because at this point, it no longer feels like a small experiment from SCS Software. This feels like a major future project for the company. And personally, I think this milestone could seriously speed things up behind the scenes. Here's why. SCS Software has probably realized that console gaming could open an entirely new era for ETS2 and ATS. On PC, the trucking community is already massive, but consoles introduce something completely different, a brand new audience. Millions of casual players, people who have never touched a truck simulator before. And once they experience the relaxing atmosphere of these games, many of them will probably become addicted to virtual trucking. Because these games are different. Not every game needs explosions every 5 seconds. Not every game needs chaos and non-stop action. Sometimes people just want to relax after a long day. And ETS2 and ATS are perfect for that. Imagine finishing a stressful day. You sit down on your couch, you grab your controller, you start your engine at sunset somewhere in Portugal, or maybe deep in Arizona with the desert glowing under the evening sky. You turn on some music, maybe a podcast, maybe the in-game radio. And then you just drive. No pressure, no competition, no chaos. Just you, the road, the sound of the engine, and hundreds of kilometers ahead of you. That is the magic of these games. And honestly, console players have been missing this kind of experience for a very long time. There has never really been a proper modern trucking simulator on Xbox and PlayStation that delivers the same level of immersion as ETS2 and ATS. That leaves a huge opportunity for SCS Software, because once these games arrive on console, they could instantly dominate the trucking simulation genre on those platforms. And from a business perspective, this milestone is probably very exciting for SCS. 1 million wish lists means potential customers, potential DLC buyers, potential long-term players. And unlike PC, where piracy unfortunately exists, console ecosystems are much more secure. Most Xbox and PlayStation players purchase their games directly through official stores. That means strong revenue potential. And more revenue for SCS means more growth for the company itself. More developers, bigger updates, faster map expansions, new trucks, improved graphics, better technology, and maybe even bigger future projects beyond ETS2 and ATS. I know games can get expensive sometimes. You see something you really want, and then the price just puts you off. That's exactly why I like using Instant Gaming. They've got a huge library of games across different categories, and the prices are much lower than usual. Whether you're on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, or even Nintendo, you can find something that works for you. The process is simple. Just pick your game, go to checkout, choose your preferred payment method, and you'll get your key. Then you activate it on your platform, and it's yours forever. I like how quick and easy that is. It's also safe and reputable, which is important. And on top of that, they're running a monthly giveaway where you can win the game of your choice, so don't miss that. All the links are in the description. This could genuinely become one of the most important moments in SCS software history. And what makes this even more impressive is the fact that these are trucking games. Think about that. A genre that many people once considered too boring has now built one of the most passionate communities in gaming. People love these games because they feel peaceful, they feel immersive, and strangely enough, they feel real. There is something special about driving through rain at night in Europe while listening to music, or crossing the American desert during sunrise with a long trailer behind you. Those moments stay with players. That is why the community is so loyal, and that is why 1 million wishlists actually matters. Because this is not fake hype, this is years of players asking for these games on console. And honestly, the timing could not be better. Simulation games as a whole are becoming more popular every year. People are no longer only interested in fast shooters or racing games. Players now enjoy slower, more immersive experiences. Games where you can simply exist in the world and enjoy the atmosphere. That is exactly where ETS2 and ATS shine the most. And another important thing people sometimes forget is how good these games could feel with a controller. Cruising down the highway from California to Texas while relaxing on a couch could honestly become one of the most satisfying gaming experiences on console. Imagine adaptive triggers on PlayStation controllers, feeling the resistance when braking with a heavy trailer, feeling vibrations from rough roads, curbs, rain, and engine rumble. Those little details could make the experience even more immersive than many people expect. And then there is Convoy multiplayer. Just imagine thousands of console players joining together online for the very first time. Friends doing long deliveries together across Europe or America. Huge community convoys. Beginners struggling to reverse trailers while everyone laughs in voice chat. Moments like that are exactly what could make the console version explode in popularity. And if SCS handles the release correctly, this could become much bigger than people currently imagine. Because once streamers, YouTubers, and casual console players start discovering these games, the popularity could rise extremely fast. We have already seen how simulation games can suddenly become massive online, and ETS2 and ATS already have one huge advantage. They are established games with years of content, updates, trucks, maps, and experience behind them. This is not a rushed new project. This is a franchise that has already proven itself for over a decade. And honestly, I think SCS knows that expectations are now extremely high. 1 million wishlists creates pressure. Good pressure, but still pressure. Because now, players expect progress. They expect communication. And most importantly, they expect a release eventually. The community has waited for years already. Some players started wishing for a console version back when the games looked completely different compared to today. Now the graphics are better, the lighting is better, the sounds are better. The maps are larger, the trucks are more detailed, everything feels more ready than ever before. And personally, I truly believe that when these games finally arrive on console, it will feel like a historic moment for simulation gaming. Not just for SCS software, but for the entire trucking community. Because for the first time ever, millions of console players will finally understand why people love these games so much. They will finally experience those peaceful night drives, those beautiful sunsets, those long, lonely highways, and that strange, relaxing feeling that only ETS2 and ATS can create. And honestly, I cannot wait to see that day happen. Now, I really want to hear from you. Did you already wishlist ETS2 or ATS on the Microsoft Store or PlayStation Store? And if these games release tomorrow, would you actually play them on console?